It is patient. Patient is the. Can you hear?
Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:01 a.m.
She says it's 11:01 a.m. That means we're late. Sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. Nice to see a crowd. I think we've got a few more people coming. Here they come in the door. This is the first, what we're calling the Alexa Club. And just as a preamble, the Alexa is the wake-up name for our girlfriend within these different units put out by Amazon. There are now a couple of other systems coming out, one by Apple and one by Google. But I think the Amazon folks are way ahead, at least for us. They are now, because we will soon have 60 Echoes and Dots in our apartments here. That's 40% of the total apartments now have one of these units and are enjoying them. So what we're going to do today, by the way, I'm John Sanders, the chairman of the Technology Committee, and we, along with Front Porch, this is Jessica Yoon, representing the Center for Innovation and Wellness from Front Porch, and she has been the one interacting with us, mostly representing Front Porch, and has been giving us training and technical support. But we're now, her main start for this was we started back in fall with focus groups to kind of figure out how this might work. And we put together 15 people to participate. And from those 15, they were each given an Echo, which is this unit over here with the red light on it, which is the first unit that Amazon came out with. Subsequently, they came out with the Dot, which technically does the same thing as the Echo. The difference is the Echo has much better speakers. Anything else?
Yeah, just smaller.
No, the better speakers. That's the main thing. But you can add external speakers on this to make it equal. So we elected the Technology Committee to promote using the Dots on top of the 15 people that had the Echo. So there are now 40 some odd additional Dot users. And yesterday, Amazon Prime had the Dot on sale from $50 to $35. So we had some money in the till, thanks to a couple of contributions. So we jerry-rigged, since there was a maximum of 6 per order, 3 of us ordered 6 units. So we have now 18 in the inventory, plus a few others. So we're ready for new people, and we can install them. So let me introduce the people that are involved with this. First of all, I introduced Jessica. We need Jessica. Hopefully you stay around. Secondly, Blanca Zendejas. Blanca is, whatever her title is for the Alexa Club, she is going to be the coordinator. And going forward, if you have problems with your Alexa, which happen every once in a while, Alexa gets a little bit off and on. You're welcome. Okay, good. All right. So sometimes she talks when you don't want her to talk. But we feel that there will be problems going forward, so we can have someone that you can call directly, especially without bothering me initially. But we also have working with us Craig Jones, which all of you know or should know. Chris is our chaplain, a part-time chaplain, but it turns out, fortunately for him and for us, he spent 20 years in the computer, more than 20, wasn't it? 20, 30? Huh? 40? That's pretty good. He must have started when he was 3, but spent 40 years in computer business, most of it with Computer Associates as a programmer, as a manager. You weren't president? No, okay. So, but he's been doing the installations recently, so we have someone very talented, and it also gives you and him a chance to meet each other going forward. So it's working out pretty good, our team. Also want to introduce a guest we have this morning, Alan Farberoff. Alan is an engineer. Do you have a title? Director of something? Product manager. There you go. He is with Great Call, who markets the Jitterbug phone. So they are being very active with senior centers and communities in how to interact the Jitterbug in with the activities. So now with Alexa coming along, he's looking at how all of these things fit together and how a great call can take over the universe. Something like that. You're welcome. All right, now we have special speakers this morning. And these are 3 or 4 people that have the units, and they have been willing to take my arm twisting and say that they'll see a few words about how they are using Alexa and what problems she's causing them and what attributes they really like. So I'm going to start with Corinne Sawyer, who is a great supporter of ours. You don't have to move. You have 30 minutes or less.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. I started with the Alexa just as a curiosity. It seemed like would be a lot of fun. And first, I always say good morning to her, and she gives me a fact about the day. Every day of the year is National Pickle Day or National or the birthday of Alexa. There's something to celebrate, and you get a fun fact. But if that's not enough for you, I always ask her about the weather. She gives me the weather report for the day. I ask her for a flash news briefing. Now, you can set your flash news briefing to anybody you want, to CNN, to Fox, to PBS, ABC, CBS, and so on, and get the news from whoever you favor. You don't have to listen to a negative political opinion. I play music with her, as many of you do. She's linked to my Pandora account, and she will also link to Sirius XM, the radio account that you may have in your car. I set alarms and timers with her. She wakes me up if I take an afternoon nap because I've set the alarm. She tells me when the oven has done its job because I set a timer for my oven. And I play games with her. My favorite is Wordmaster because I always beat her. That didn't seem to be enough. And when they offered us thermostats and smart plugs to go with these, I jumped at the chance to be part of that. I now set the thermostat by sitting in my chair and saying, Alexa, bring the thermostat up 1 degree. And she responds quickly, thermostat in automatic mode, aiming for 74. I turn the night light on when I'm ready to go to bed, turn off the light by my chair and say, Alexa, turn on the light, and the night light goes on, and she says, okay. I now message back and forth without using the telephone to friends of mine who also have a smartphone on which they have the Alexa app and an Alexa, and we can also make a phone call, but we prefer to leave messages because it seems clearer. There's no charge to your phone line, by the way, for that. It goes up via the internet. And I just recently learned how to set a reminder. I'll tell you the 3 funniest things that have happened, 2 of the funniest things that have happened to me since I had Alexa. I set a reminder, I set a calendar note that I was going to have lunch with my niece and her boyfriend. And I said, Wednesday, 12 o'clock, lunch, Grace and Doug. Later, on Wednesday, when I said, Alexa, what are my appointments for the day? She said, you have 1 appointment today, 12 o'clock, launch Grace and Dog. Consequently, I do a great deal of voice training with Alexa, which is another thing that you can do via the app. You can train her to learn your voice, your intonation, and your pronunciation by reading a list of 21 items, little sentences that they give you to read, and they vary every time. So she's gradually learning to talk to me, but she still does some funny things. This morning, I was trying a reminder for the first time, and yesterday I said, remind me at 7 a.m. that I have an Alexa meeting at 11. And this morning at 7, I had clean forgotten I'd done that, and Alexa went off. She rings a little chime, and she has a little blue light that races around and around her little head. And I didn't know what that was. And I said, Alexa, give me my messages. Well, I knew it wasn't a message, and she knew it wasn't a message. She said rather tartly, you have no messages. I said, Alexa, answer the phone. She said, there are no phone calls. And then she said in a rather acerbic voice, this is a reminder. And then she gave me the reminder, and I remembered that I had set a reminder. So artificial intelligence is scary. She's learning to correct me when I'm wrong. Oops.
They have programmed a lot of interesting retort comments when you ask her questions such as, are you beautiful? How old are you? She has an answer for how old, so a lot of these are regular. Now I'm going to, let's have her tell a joke. Alexa, tell me a joke.
Best time to go bowling. Well, I've heard the first Sunday in February is a good time for a Super Bowl.
The question was, when is a good time to go bowling? She said the first Sunday is a good Super Bowl. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. All right, now Millie Espy has had one. You have a dot, I believe, don't you? An Echo, the big one. So Millie's been on it for several months, so Millie will tell us a few things. By the way, the real purpose for this is to get everybody together because you can learn from other people how they're using it because, as you see already, we've got a lot of creative uses, and there's more and more and more coming out from Amazon, what they call skills, which would be like apps, skills that you can use, which are different programs by third-party users as well, third-party creators, as well as Amazon itself.
Well, I'm afraid that I cannot top Corinne's narration. She did a very thorough job. But personally, I am thankful that I was able to participate in the workshops. We've had 8 of them beginning in March, and Jessica has been a wonderful help. But I thoroughly have enjoyed it's like another person in the apartment that you can talk to or listen to. And just yesterday in our workshop, we learned how to do the to-do list and make the appointments and that sort of thing. So I'm afraid I can't top anything that you've said other than you can become very accustomed to having her around. And when I ask for something and she performs, I want to say thank you, but she never acknowledges my response.
Miss Ann Sippian, also a long time. Either one.
I will say something about my Echo. I had a favorite classical music station in Los Angeles and Orange County, and couldn't listen to it anymore, although I could get Pandora. So once Jessica installed my Echo, I now listen constantly to KUSC FM, the classic music station in Orange County and Los Angeles.
I use the dot. I use the dot quite a bit as a reminder. I hardly ever use my timer anymore. Alexa's much easier. Also, I'm trying to become more acquainted with different types of classical music. So I'll just ask Alexa, play me something by Mozart or Chopin or whatever. I find that very handy.
Lots more. So, do we want to do a little demo? One of the more interesting things coming out, in my opinion, is your ability to call people just by verbally saying, call Corinne, or call my brother, or call whoever it is. But you need a special contact list, which would be your Alexa contact list. So people that are on that list, that also have a unit and are on the Wi-Fi, you can call them, and it'll leave a message, or it will connect, or you can leave a text message, a voice message, like a voicemail there. So how are we going to do this?
Can I say a few words before
Sure,
we do
mate,
the demonstration?
absolutely.
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me well? Okay. So thank you for the great introduction, John. My name is Jessica Yoon, and I work as a project coordinator for the Front Porch Center for Innovation and Wellbeing. If you've seen the IN2L big screen on the care center or the cyber cycle that's down on the first floor gym, Those are just some of the technologies that our center kind of investigates and researches its applicability and use for the older adult population and in the senior living field. So, and our Amazon Echo project began last fall with a preliminary focus group, and we decided Carlsbad by the Sea was the perfect community and testing ground to really try this out. And we couldn't have come this far without the support and cooperation of this community. So John and the technology committee and the staff and the residents and our pilot members that were working with me over the past, we officially launched the project in February, so since then we've had 16 households, and some of you have just spoken, such as Corinne, Millie, Lois, who worked with me and were so patient with me, and I helped them install the Echoes in their homes, and we've been testing it out for the past couple of months. So part of Alexa's magic and why we initially wanted to start this project was when the Amazon Alexa was first introduced to just the general public. It's just a general consumer product, but we knew that the voice activation, that technology, and how that is compatible with some of these home appliances, such as smart plugs and these thermostats and other. The list goes on, and we knew. We didn't know. We wanted to know. We wanted to see how that activated by voice could really help, potentially help those with limited mobility, those with limited vision, and other potential limitations, how that could really help or promote greater engagement or independence in people's homes. So it's been going great, and I thank you again for everyone's support and cooperation. And we hope to continue this and bring our learnings to other front porch communities. So